Hello, everybody, and welcome to my June 2nd, 2025 Monday Night Raw stream. Thank you guys for tuning in, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Twitch, if you're watching this live, or if you're watching the video that gets uploaded to YouTube. Whenever you're watching this, thank you for tuning in. We are just days away from Money in the Bank. But before we can get there, we've got Sami Zayn and Jey Uso battling it out with Seth Rollins' muscle in Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed being the newest member of this new dangerous alliance that was this idea of Paul Heyman and Seth freaking Rollins. You gotta wonder how that would play out just days ahead of Jey Uso teaming up with the only other man he's ever won a tag team title with, that being the American Nightmare, the former WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes will team this Saturday to take on the 17-time WWE champion, John Cena, and the Maverick, the social media megastar, Logan Paul. That's coming up this Saturday. But before we can get there, after what transpired last Monday on Raw, this tag team match has been set for Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. We know they're close, like brothers from another mother. Sami, he is a certified Uso. Once upon a time, an honorary Uso, made a full-blown Uso. We'll see how that plays out. We'll see how that plays out tonight. And talk about Money in the Bank. What a triple threat match filled with talent. Filled with three of the absolute best this business has to offer. We got CM Punk. Well, okay, 2 out of 3 are the very best this business has ever seen. We don't know too much about El Grande Americano, but what we do know is that he's undefeated. But CM Punk and AJ Styles, world-traveled athletes, they've done it all. They've traveled all over the world. It's been a long time since Punk and Styles have crossed paths, and they do it once again to secure their spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. But El Grande Americano, I gotta say what you want to say about El Grande Americano. He adds a different vibe to this match. You just don't know what to expect from him. And then going on to the women's side of things, Stephanie McCoy looks to make her mark on the main roster as Liv Morgan, and Ivy Nile compete on the women's side of things in a triple threat to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Liv Morgan already knows what it's like to do it. She's done it before. Can she do it again? Liv Morgan knows what it's like. She's a former women's champion. She's done it twice. So who's to say that she won't do it again? Stephanie McCoy, former NXT women's champion. Anything's possible. And for Ivy Nile, the Pitbull, been waiting. Who's been on a leash. Pun intended, I guess you could say. Ivy Nile has been on a leash, just waiting to be unleashed and finally make her mark on Monday Night Raw. And things are about to pick up because the War Raiders are going to be in action with the Judgment Day It was the Judgment Day who actually lost their tag titles to the War Raiders, who came back more dominant than they'd ever been. The War Raiders would go on, of course, to lose the War Raiders would go on to lose their titles to the New Day at WrestleMania, but this is revisiting a little bit of unfinished business between the War Raiders and the Judgment Day, that being Finn Balor and JD McDonough representing the Judgment Day. And with that being said, there's still so much more to come. Besides what is being advertised, you can expect to see a lot more, including everyone's favorite mommy, Rhea Ripley. All kinds of action to be expected tonight. Rusev, who continues his dominant path back after making his return on the Raw after WrestleMania. And as we approach the 8 o'clock hour, we get closer to Monday Night Raw. All right. We have a few minutes left till Monday Night Raw. Sit tight, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, let's get underway, everybody. We're under 1 minute to Monday Night Raw. In about 30 seconds, we go live on Netflix for Monday Night Raw. Ta-dum. This was last Monday on Raw. It was Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, and Seth Rollins triple threat qualifying for the Money in the Bank. All three men looking to stake their claim to qualify for Money in the Bank. There was so much unknown heading into this match. Sami Zayn with that haluva kick, and just when you thought Sami Zayn was about to win, here came Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to take out Zayn. But guess who would come to his aid? None other than main event Jey Uso, the world champion, who would just get ripped in half by a spear from Braun Breaker. Look at this from Dirty Dom. He threw in the chair, but it wasn't close enough to Balor. But it was close enough for Rollins to nail Balor with a stomp for the 1, 2, and 3 for Rollins to secure his spot to Money in the Bank. But look who was here, even though they said he wasn't. Punk nailed Rollins from behind and hit a GTS. CM Punk, who got the last laugh last Monday. What does tonight look like? And we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma for Monday Night Raw at the BOK Center. We are live on Netflix and Raw presented by Snickers. Sami Zayn, who has done a lot. He's done the unthinkable. The underdog from the underground teams up with the Yeet Man himself, the world heavyweight champion. His brother from another mother. Main event Jey Uso, Sami Zayn team up to take on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed after what transpired in the main event during that triple threat Money in the Bank qualifying match in which Seth freaking Rollins has qualified for. And speaking of qualifying for Money in the Bank, somebody Rollins hates more than anything, CM Punk and AJ Styles and El Grande Americano look to qualify tonight. And one spot remains for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Will it be Stephanie McCourt, who looks to make a huge name for herself early on in her main roster run? Will Liv Morgan once again become Miss Money in the Bank? Will she qualify? Or will Ivy Nile, the Pitbull, finally be unleashed to roam free? I think we know who the WWE Universe is waiting to see. And there he is. The second City Saint is here in Tulsa. A standing ovation for the second City Saint, who has his hands full later tonight in triple threat action alongside AJ Styles and a man we don't know too much about in El Grande Americano, but what we can say is that he's undefeated and he's ready to go. Last Monday, we saw CM Punk make everybody believe he wasn't going to be here, including Seth Rollins, who admitted that Punk wasn't there. But Punk had everybody fooled and played Rollins, played Bronson Reed, played Braun Breaker, and most importantly, played Paul Heyman, nailing Seth Rollins with a GTS to close out Monday Night Raw and then escape through the crowd. What a monstrous crowd here in Tulsa. What is this all about? A man who tried to qualify for Money in the Bank, and he was about to, but then came Seth Rollins and his goons in Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, who got involved. CM Punk has had his issues with Rollins. Sami Zayn, who's made it clear that CM Punk needs to win that triple threat match to go to Money in the Bank, because if Seth Rollins wins Money in the Bank, the landscape of WWE will change. WWE will be ruined. Who will take the last spot? You've got Punk, you've got AJ Styles, and you've got El Grande Americano, who's kind of a dark horse in the situation. Finn Balor, who has been trying to get Roxanne Perez to be a full member of the group. Let's take a look at what happened last Monday. It was Liv Morgan and Kairi Sane. Meanwhile, Roxanne Perez was trying to help Liv Morgan, but Raquel Rodriguez that caused an argument and it distracted Liv Morgan, which allowed Kairi Sane to roll up Liv and pull out the victory. It was Roxanne who wanted Liv to win. Who will be the final one to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank? Liv, Ivy, and Stephanie Vaquer next on Raw. Money in the Bank. There's going to be all kinds of nonstop action heading your way. Money in the Bank, Los Angeles, Saturday. Priority Pass, on location. Packages on sale now. Go to onlocationexp.com/WWE. Ivy Nile, who's in the ring now. Let's take a look at this woman. Woman who has traveled the world, made her name in Mexico. And Adam Pearce, who made a huge signing, being able to pick up this young woman in Stephanie Vaquer and getting her to Monday Night Raw, a globally traveled superstar who made her name in Mexico, and come Saturday, she'll already have her hands full on Saturday as she teams with Lola Vice to take on Dallas and Cheek Tormenta at Worlds Collide. That'll be on YouTube, 3 p.m. Eastern. But a few hours after, Stephanie Vaquer may have to step inside a Money in the Bank match. A huge opportunity. Stephanie Vaquer, the newest signee to Monday Night Raw. A brilliant signing by Adam Pearce, the Raw general manager. And right off the bat, we saw Ivy Nile and Liv Morgan go after Vaquer. Ivy Nile and Liv going at it now. That was nasty. And that headbutt. Look at that springboard crossbody by Vaquer. And up and over. Ooh, what a shot to the chest. One for a clothesline was Morgan, but instead a backdrop suplex by the Chilean in Stephanie Vaquer. And she's pulling all the stops. She calls this the Devil's Kiss. This place is 1,000% behind Stephanie Vaquer and this Money in the Bank qualifier. And now it's time for some Devil's Kiss for Niall, but Morgan ruins the party with a drop kick to take down Vaquer. And a suplex. And we know what's coming from Morgan. The Three Amigos, made famous by the late great Eddie Guerrero. That third one. She drops Vaquer onto Niall. Liv Morgan with a shot to Niall. And now Vaquer. And Liv, who's already done it. She's already been Miss Money in the Bank. She's already gone and cashed it in on the same night to become WWE Women's Champion. Liv's done that already. She knows what it's like to hold the biggest prize in WWE, in the women's division. She's already done that. So there's got to be a little bit of extra chill, a little bit more confidence for Morgan heading into this match, being the only one of these three to be a WWE Women's Champion. But look at the power of Ivy Nile paying homage to her mentor of American Made, Chad Gable. This match continues. It is a triple threat qualifying match for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It's Liv Morgan. She's already done it before. It's Stephanie Vaquer, the latest signee to Monday Night Raw. And the Pitbull, Ivy Nile of American Made. Right now, it's Vaquer in control over Niall and Morgan. And for Vaquer, she's only been with the WWE since July of last year. Hasn't even been a full year with the company. And she already has a chance to send huge shockwaves in the women's division. If she can qualify for the ladder match, she could go on to become Miss Money in the Bank and make her statement known that she was born, that she was meant to be a big player in WWE. What a shot by Vaquer. But Liv Morgan returns the favor. Oh, Enziguri, nobody home. Vaquer paying back Morgan with a shot of her own. Liv got the leg up. Liv, who fought out, realizing that she was about to be in deep trouble. What a right by Vaquer. And Vaquer. Oh, wait. Oh, my. This is about to be high impact. Look at the superplex power bomb. Ivy Nile thought she had it secured, but it was Vaquer who was able to kick out before the 3. And wisely for Liv Morgan, she rolled out of the way to not even be involved with the chance for Nile to pin her. But at the same time, not a good play if she doesn't get involved in the decision of this match. Stephanie almost had it. Stephanie, look at this. Could do it. And a kick out at 2. Was looking for that eat defeat. But instead it's Morgan who makes them eat the knees. Look at this double cover to pin both of them. But a double kick out by Vaquer and Nile. What a big win it would be for Morgan to get a double pin on both Vaquer and Nile. Secure her spot. It's this Saturday. Money in the Bank in Los Angeles for the last spot to join the ladder match. There's a lot at stake for these 3 women. Liv was looking for Oblivion, but Vaquer got involved. Backslide. Liv able to kick out. Vaquer. Oh, Liv breaks free. Oh, and a code breaker stuns Vaquer. And there's Oblivion. And Liv going for the win, but Ivy looking to steal this one. And Morgan saves the day. Wasn't going to let Ivy just steal it like that. Ivy, who had the right idea to steal this one, but Liv Morgan got back in the ring before it was too late. Meanwhile, Nile, who sent Morgan into the steel steps. And now it's Nile back in the ring, but Vaquer, she's got Nile as she looks to put her away. Will it be? And Vaquer is headed to Money in the Bank. Vaquer has now advanced to Money in the Bank. Talk about a big acquisition for Monday Night Raw. And now proving that she is worthy. Stephanie Vaquer. She overcame the Oblivion after it was Ivy Nile who tried to steal the victory. Liv would break it, and then the final blow would be delivered. And her ticket, Stephanie Vaquer's ticket, has been punched. She ought to get ready because she's got a plane to catch. And she's headed to LA for Money in the Bank, where she joins Naomi, Julia, Roxanne. Rhea Ripley, and Alexa Bliss, who will be the 2025 Women's Money in the Bank holder. That's to come later tonight, that triple threat match. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Box Center tonight for the flagship show that is Monday Night Raw. Moments ago, we saw Stephanie Vaquer qualify for Money in the Bank. But now, as later tonight, we turn to the men's side of things with Punk, Styles, and Americano. What a fight that would be. Ladies and gentlemen, Finn Balor and JD McDonough are going to go head to head with Eric and Ivar, the War Raiders. And that's coming up next. WWE heading back to Fanatics Fest, New York City, June 20th to the 22nd at the Javits Center. Catch WWE superstars and legends live. Tickets available now at fanaticsfest.com, featuring the likes of WWE Hall of Famer The Undertaker and Rey Mysterio, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair. Go check out tickets now at fanaticsfest.com. And we are back. BOK Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What a match we had ahead of ourselves. This is renewing a little bit of some old issues between the Judgment Day, the War Raiders, this match. What this goes back to are the issues between the War Raiders and the New Day, going back to when the New Day, when the Judgment Day were tag team champions. And the Judgment Day were champions going from last year's WrestleMania, holding them for quite a bit of time. And then Eric and Ivar would come back renewed, revamped, and better than ever. And they would take those tag team titles from Balor, from McDonough. Meanwhile, Balor has Eric in the corner, isolating Eric from Ivar. And the tag's been made, McDonough the legal man. McDonough driving the boot in the chin of Eric. And McDonough taking full control of the situation here. Things are not looking good for the War Raiders at this point. The War Raiders, who've been trying to find their fitting back on top since losing the titles to the New Day back at WrestleMania. It's been a little bit over a month since WrestleMania. About a month and a couple weeks since the War Raiders lost their tag titles, and they never truly got that fair match after what had happened. The way they lost the titles was a little bit questionable. And a back body drop. And Ivar slams down McDonough, but Balor gets involved. Look at that handspring taken out Balor. And up and over McDonough goes. Let's not forget that McDonough was out for quite some time with a punctured lung. That happened during the match with Eric and Ivar, the War Raiders. They're calling their shot. Oh my God. And you talk about puncturing a lung. All that weight of Ivar could certainly puncture another lung of JD. And the New Day, who have joined us at ringside, got trolled by Ivar jokingly showing that he was going to throw JD McDonough into them. And Jessica Carr doing what needed to be done. She sends the New Day out of here. Goodbye, New Day. Now we've got some more officials. And now things have been evened up. The New Day are out the way as this match continues. It's been quite the night here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Right now, we've got tag team action. It's the War Raiders. It's Judgment Day. And just before a commercial break, well, the New Day, the World Tag Team Champions who had joined me here at ringside, were removed from ringside by the official Jessica Carr. Look at that innovative offense by JD McDonough. Went for the cover on Ivar. Let's not forget, as I mentioned earlier, War Raiders, they defeated the Judgment Day. They defeated Balor and McDonough to win the tag titles. So with the War Raiders already having the upper hand in terms of having that victory over the Judgment Day, what does that do for the mindset of the Judgment Day in this match? Not to mention the size advantage that Eric and Ivar have over Balor and McDonough. Ivar is not going down, and he catches McDonough, and a spinning slam takes down McDonough. But can Ivar capitalize and make a tag that is much needed to Eric? He's got a long ways to go, but anything is possible. Can he do it? And he does. The tag has been made. And Eric is bringing the heat to Balor. And McDonough, look at that suplex by Eric. And now, one for McDonough, that high collar suplex. And a back elbow for Balor. Went for a clothesline, but Balor. Oh, Eric counters. Pops up. And a headbutt. Stunning Balor. Ooh. Balor gets rocked by that wicked knee, but somehow stays alive. And Balor is absolutely stunned after that knee. The War Raiders looking to capitalize on the opportunity. But there's McDonough to pull Eric out of the way. And that elbow to Ivar as Balor looks for the victory for the Judgment Day. But it's Ivar who kicks out. McDonough with a kick to Eric. And a springboard moonsault takes out Eric. And a shotgun drop kick by Balor. Oh, this is not good for Ivar. Ivar's in the drop zone for the coup de grace, but nobody's home. But splat. Look at that athleticism. A man his size shouldn't be able to do that, but he does. And Ivar looking for war, and it calls for it. And Ivar looking to close it out. I think we know what Ivar's thinking. 330. All that weight could crash down. What is this? And now it's Perez who's out of the apron here to get involved. And McDonough takes advantage. And the Prodigy. And Balor with a coup de grace. Cover by Balor. And the Judgment Day get the victory. And what a victory for the Judgment Day. Balor has been a big proponent in Roxanne Perez being a part of the Judgment Day. She helps Finn. She helps JD. With that slight hesitation, and Jessica Carr focused on Roxanne, it allowed for Balor and McDonough to take advantage of the opportunity. And then that one final coup de grace for the 1, 2, and 3. Pulling the leg back like it's the lever to victory. Finn has believed in Roxanne, believing that she can be a true part of Judgment Day. And she did just that. What was that? All right. We're coming back to Raw in a few minutes. We're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the host of our flagship show, Monday Night Raw. Thank you to Oklahoma for hosting Raw tonight. Fun fact of the night, cashing in. The women's briefcase cash-ins have a perfect success of 100%, 8 out of 8, while the men's cash-in, well, only 76%, 19 out of 25 cash-ins have been successful. What a matchup that. There's just so many possibilities for the future of this women's division. Lyra Valkyria, who will defend her Intercontinental Championship against the man, Becky Lynch, this Saturday in Los Angeles at Money in the Bank. The last chance for Becky Lynch. If she doesn't win, she said she'd never challenge Lyra again. And the man herself, Becky Lynch. This rivalry has gotten as personal as it gets. Lyra saw Becky as a mentor. Lyra, she's been fired up. And Becky not going to give a preview to Tulsa. But Lyra, she's running after Becky. It's Lyra who has heard enough from Becky. And the Women's Intercontinental Champion bringing the fight to Lynch. We have officials trying to separate this ever so personal feud between these two. And Lyra, who's had all of her buttons pushed. Becky's in her head. That's not good for Lyra. Lyra has unleashed a mad side of her. Penta's ready for Money in the Bank. Yeet! It's a party in Tulsa, and it's a special kind of party. It's a yeet party. Yeet. Yeet. Sammy feeling extra oozy tonight. All kinds of oos going on. The oosiness is unreal. In Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yeet, 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 yeet. We got a tag match coming your way up next. Zayn and Uso, the world champion, they take on Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed. The world champs in the house, baby. It's a very juicy moment. We'll be back live on Netflix. Get your 2-day combo tickets now. Ticketmaster.com. First ever 2-night SummerSlam taking place in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Sami Zayn, main event Jey Uso. Huge tag team match. And speaking of a huge tag team match, Jey Uso teams up with the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes to take on the 17-time WWE Champion John Cena and the Maverick, the social media megastar Logan Paul. That's this Saturday at Money in the Bank when it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Meanwhile, the Yeet Party continues in the ring. Saturday's Money in the Bank presented to you by Cash App. Cash App always in your corner. Your financial superhero. The dogs are barking in Tulsa. The unpredictable badass and Big Bronson Reed. Paul Heyman always finds a way to do it. Well, AJ Styles would describe it as always finding his meal ticket earlier tonight. But Paul Heyman always finds a way to shake waves in the WWE, siding with Seth Rollins, and then bringing Big Bronson Reed and the unpredictable badass Braun Breaker into the mix. As if you thought the alliance couldn't get any more dangerous after Braun Breaker, Big Bronson Reed was brought into the mix. There is a lot to unpack in this tag team match. Main event, Jey Uso and the unpredictable badass Braun Breaker start this thing off. And you heard it from Paul Heyman, what he had to say about Braun Breaker. He's going to main event WrestleMania 46, WrestleMania 47, WrestleMania 48, WrestleMania 49, WrestleMania. The point is, Braun Breaker's the future of this industry. And that's what the back of his singlet says, the future. And this is interesting. This matchup to start this thing off is interesting. It was main event Jey Uso who actually defeated Braun Breaker to win his first Intercontinental Championship. But unfortunately for main event Jey Uso, it would be Braun Breaker who would end up winning the title back before losing it at WrestleMania. But nonetheless, Braun Breaker in control. This is a big tag team match. It's been since November since the last time we saw Bronson Reed in a match. Bronson Reed, who got injured at the Survivor Series War Games match. And Bronson Reed, who ironically had his issues with Seth Rollins. In fact, did so many tsunamis on Rollins that Rollins started bleeding out of his mouth. But when the opportunity presented itself, Bronson Reed took the opportunity to side with Rollins. He saw the door and he walked right through it. He took the opportunity to join Braun Breaker, to join Paul Heyman. Meanwhile, great teamwork from Breaker and Reed, but Breaker only able to get a 2 count on Sami Zayn. The tag's been made. Breaker and Reed working on keeping Sami Zayn isolated from the world champion main event Jey Uso. Jey has got a lot on his mind between this match tonight, between what he's got going on Saturday when he teams with Cody Rhodes to take on John Cena and Logan Paul, and then the Raw after Money in the Bank where he has to defend his world title against Gunther. Jay's got a lot going on. Tornado DDT by Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, who desperately needs to make this tag to main event Jey Uso. The opportunity is wide open. Can he do it? And Zayn makes the tag. But Breaker also once again the legal man. But Jay's picking up the heat. Clubbing shots for main event Jey Uso, looking for the last one. That last one knocks Breaker off his feet, stunning the unpredictable badass. And up and over. Enziguri to Breaker. Up at the top. Breaker rolls out of harm's way. Oh, what a gut check for Jey Uso. Breaker looking to take the victory. Braun Breaker's power is so entertaining, so explosive. It's absolutely incredible and unreal, superhuman. There are so many ways to describe Braun Breaker and what he's able to do inside the squared circle. But one of the most impressive things is how fast he's able to run these ropes. Oh, he was looking to ram through Jey, but gets caught with a super kick. But Breaker barely kicking out at 2.5. You saw that look on Heyman's face in the background and getting another look at Heyman's face. Now let's get another look at this. Jey was able to get a super kick on Breaker. This is the same way that Jey won the world title at WrestleMania when he made Gunther tap. Will Jey make Breaker tap here on Raw? But Bronson Reed with a senton to Jey. And now it's Sami Zayn, the underdog from the underground, getting in the mix. But gets splashed in the corner by Reed. A one-man wrecking ball. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, Sami Zayn realized his career, his life was in deep trouble and got out of harm's way. Oh, Sami Zayn sensed Breaker behind. This time, Zayn looking to fly. Uh-oh. But Zayn got caught. And Uso with a suicide dive, taking out Breaker and Reed. All 4 men now laid out in this situation. Oh, but it's Rollins with a stomp. Rollins, who forces the disqualification. I don't even think it was about the victory for Reed and Breaker. It was just about finding the opportunity to take Jey, to take Zayn out of the equation. That's what this has always been about. And now, chaos is about to ensue. Sami Zayn on the announce table. Oh my God. No. No, 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 no. Punk with a steel chair to Breaker and launches one at Reed. And now Punk has that crazed look in his eyes with a steel chair. If it weren't for Punk, Sami Zayn might be in a hospital right now. Punk said to Zayn, "I've got your back." And that's exactly what Punk just did, knowing that he has a huge match still to come to qualify for Money in the Bank. And they're going to get out of this situation. Rollins holding back Breaker and Reed. These two behemoths are unpredictable, but Rollins has always been an architect, has always been the brains behind every faction he's been a part of. He knows that he's got to keep his men in check and attack when the time is right. And Punk, like I said, still to come. Punk still got to worry about AJ Styles and El Grande Americano in that triple threat match later tonight. Oh, shoot. My bad. I totally forgot to respond to you. My bad, Landon. I was waiting till the match was done. Thank you for being here. Totally got sidetracked. My ADHD got the best of me. What's up, Landon? Appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. Kairi Sane, who's set for action against Raquel Rodriguez next on Monday Night Raw. And I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then when I come back, we'll be ready And coming your way, Saturday, July 12th, Saturday night's main event. And then Sunday, July 13th, WWE's Evolution. We make history once again with another all-women's premium live event. That's taking place at State Farm Arena on the 12th and the 13th. But back in the ring here in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Box Center, it is Kairi Sane and Raquel Rodriguez. Eddie Arango, the official. Last week, it was Kairi Sane who bested Liv Morgan with a distraction. Well, it wasn't intended to be a distraction. It was Roxanne Perez who was trying to come help the situation by knocking down Kairi Sane. But then Raquel Rodriguez would focus her attention on Roxanne and basically giving Roxanne a hard time for trying to get involved and trying to be a part of Judgment Day. And Liv, for that split second, she was distracted, allowing Kairi Sane to get the victory. Meanwhile, right now, Kairi Sane, boom, nailing a massive forearm on Raquel. Oh, look at the power of Raquel. One arm. That's just how tough, just how powerful Raquel is as she slams Kairi Sane into the apron. And while Eddie Arango being distracted by Raquel, you saw that cheap shot by Liv Morgan. Raquel goes for the cover, but it's Sane who kicks out. And Raquel, with a clothesline, takes out Sane. And now this is where the pace slows down quite a bit. Raquel has the size advantage. She doesn't need to worry about using quickness over Sane. That's what Sane has to worry about. Her advantage is her speed. Because size, Raquel is nearly twice the size of Kairi Sane. And Kairi, that quickness coming to her advantage for at least a split second. But just gets nailed into the corner by Raquel. And now this is where Raquel becomes dangerous. She's entering her element. And she's telling the official to back off. There's a lot of energy in this match. A little bit of some toxic energy from Raquel. And I use the term little very lightly. And very loosely. Because, okay, there's a lot of toxic energy that Eddie Arango has to deal with. In this matchup, that is. And a slap by Kairi. I don't think Raquel enjoyed that very much. And a high cross body gets caught by Raquel in midair and turned into a suplex. But wait. And countered by Sane. And now Kairi Sane has a big opportunity to get back in this match. Can she do it? Can Kairi capitalize on the situation? Morgan, you can see cheering on her. The other half of the women's tag team champions, her tag team partner, Raquel Rodriguez. And Sane really showing that she can bring the fight. Talk about being an underdog and hanging out for quite a bit of time. Nice takedown. What a way to get Raquel down to her knees. And then a boot to the back of the head. of Raquel. Kyrie really bringing the fight to Raquel. Kyrie trying to break down Raquel down to size. Oh, look at that. Blockbuster by Sane. Kyrie getting ready to walk the plank. Going full speed with that running forearm. Sane was heading to the top looking for that insane elbow perhaps. But Liv. Oh my. Here comes the world champion. Io Sky is here for her friend. Oh, the boot sends Raquel into the ring post. A great opportunity for Kairi Sane, who's about to go insane with the insane elbow from above. And Kairi Sane gets the victory. Liv Morgan just had to get involved in the match. You know, if Liv and Raquel had gotten along and realized that yeah, I knew what you meant. Guess who's got a lot to think about? Still to come tonight. Big triple threat qualifying match to take the last spot in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. CM Punk, AJ Styles, and El Grande Americano. We're in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the BOK Center. Still to come, our main event, triple threat match to take the last spot in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. It's AJ Styles, CM Punk, and El Grande Americano. Raw presented to you by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. On WWE's YouTube channel, you can check out Worlds Collide this Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice take on Dallas and Chick Tormenta. Elio Day, Dr. Wagner Jr., Psycho Clown, Pagano take on Legado del Fantasma. And the NXT North American Championship, Laredo Kid will be in action. Ethan Page, Ray Phoenix, Laredo Kid, and Javon Evans. And the LWO. Look at this. Octagon Jr., Mr. Iguana, Aerostar, LWO. What a six-man. Worlds are truly colliding. And then for the AAA Mega Championship, El Hijo del Vikingo defends against Chad Gable. And then when we head across the parking lot to the Intuit Dome, let's head to Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso taking on John Cena and Logan Paul in a big tag team match. And this feud has gotten personal. Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky says she loses. Okay, I'll never challenge you again. But if I win, you got to raise my hand personally. Women's ladder match coming your way. Naomi, Julia, Roxanne, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, and Stephanie Vaquer. And now this is getting juicy with the men's side of things. We got 3 men from SmackDown, 3 men from Raw. Andrade, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Penta have already qualified. One more spot to fill. And then in Phoenix, Arizona, the Raw, after Money in the Bank, Jey Uso's got his hands full with Gunther. Let's take you back to WrestleMania just a couple months ago. Well, Gunther did make quite a few great points there, but Jay standing on business. And speaking of standing on business, it's main event time. AJ Styles looks to head to Los Angeles, much like Punk and El Grande Americana. We'll find out who's headed to Money in the Bank when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live Monday Night Raw, but coming your way this weekend, it's action-packed. Worlds Collide, YouTube, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Then the WWE Countdown of Money in the Bank at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern, Money in the Bank taking place in LA. And then, of course, you've got the post show immediately following Money in the Bank. I'll tell you what, a Grande Americana looks pretty close to another fellow member of American Made. It's a triple threat match to take the final spot in the 2025 Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. There's a lot at stake in this main event match. It is a triple threat match. CM Punk, AJ Styles, and El Grande Americano. You see what's hanging high above the ring. That Money in the Bank briefcase. That's what it's all about. It's all about qualifying for the 2025 Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. The official playing it safe, checking every aspect of El Grande Americano, knowing that he's had some dirty tactics that has made him undefeated in his short tenure with WWE, short time here. And now, right out of the gate, it's Styles and Punk working to take Americano out of the equation. This is a smart idea. You just don't know what Americano has up his sleeve. And CM Punk saying, come on, Chad. CM Punk also believing that El Grande Americano looks like another member of American Made. And now it's Punk and Styles going at it. It's been a very long time since these two have gone head to head with each other. Let's not forget Punk, two-time Money in the Bank winner, 2008, 2009. Punk would love to do it for a record third time. Americano with Styles right where he wants him. Look at that flip to AJ. And Americano sent to Styles, but Styles gets taken out with a Hurricane Rana. And a running knee by Punk takes down Americano. And it's Punk going after Styles. AJ nailed head first off the post. Punk, who opened the show, made it crystal clear he wants to be world champion again, that it's time for one last run, that the nostalgia act is over, playtime is over. It's time for things to get serious. Styles was thinking that phenomenal forearm that's winning multiple world championships here in the WWE, but Americano making sure it doesn't happen. Punk trying to expose who is under the mask of El Grande Americano, but a head ringer catches CM Punk up on that top rope. And Americano has Punk right where he wants him. And Americano taking out Punk. And now sends Styles into the announce desk. And El Grande Americano is in the driver's seat. We're back live on Monday Night Raw. You see what's hanging high above the ring. It's about qualifying for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. It's Styles. It's Punk. It's Americano. Backdrop suplex by Styles to Americano. Meanwhile, Punk still trying to catch his breath up at the top. Earlier tonight, it was Sami Zayn who told CM Punk, this is a must win. Seth Rollins cannot win this Money in the Bank ladder match, because if he does, WWE is done for. WWE is officially ruined if it is in the control of Seth Rollins. Because if it's in control of Seth Rollins, that means Paul Heyman has WWE in his hands again. And we saw how long that worked for Roman Reigns. 4 years Roman Reigns was on top as champion. So can you imagine what could be done the same for Rollins? Oh, and El Grande Americano takes out Punk. Look at that. And Styles gets sent flying across the ring. Americano goes for the cover, but Punk's right there to break it. And El Grande Americano, who is early on in his WWE career, kind of just came out of nowhere, just coming into the pro wrestling scene, and has been extremely impressive. It's like he's been pro wrestling's greatest secret. Punk rolled through, has Americano on his shoulders, was looking for that GTS, but instead Styles with that inverted DDT to Americano and a regular DDT for Punk. And AJ Styles to advance to Money in the Bank, but Punk kicks out. And a cover to El Grande Americano. There's a lot at stake. One of these three men will head to Money in the Bank. 2 out of 3 of these men have been world champion. One of these men has only in this match has won the Money in the Bank. The ankle lock. El Grande Americano gets sent into Punk, and a GTS, but countered. And look at this by Americano. Ankle lock locked in. It's locked in deep. Will Punk be forced to tap? Punk rolls through. And now caught by Styles. Styles! Clash has taken out Americano to head to Money in the Bank. But Punk breaking things up. And Punk saves the day and saves this match for him. The Styles Clash that has won him championships all over the globe. But Punk was there to break it just in time. And now it's Punk and Styles, 2 of the greatest this industry has ever seen, going at it. Styles looking for that phenomenal combination. Punk counters with a swinging neck breaker. And El Grande Americano now breaking things up. That's what happens in these matches. These matches have 3 superstars in it. And it's just so tough because you have that third factor. There's that third part of the equation, that third variable that makes it impossible for any of these 3 men to get the upper hand, to get that victory. Styles has Punk. Oh my. Styles seeming looking for a Styles Clash on Punk. Punk has Styles up. Looking to make Styles go to sleep. Went for a clothesline with Styles. Punk with a cover. And Americano with a moonsault. And now Styles. Oh! Styles kicking out near fall for Americano. And now it's Americano who heads up to the top looking to take out Punk. But nobody home. And Punk with a GTS. Will Punk do it? Oh, come on! The same thing happened last week to Sami Zayn. This is ridiculous. Well, with no rules, no disqualification, it's all legal. And here comes Zayn and Breaker. Or here comes Zayn and Jay to take out Breaker. And Reed. And running into Styles, who was looking for that phenomenal forearm. Chaos is ensuing here at ringside. AJ Styles taking everybody out on the outside now. Trying to get things back underway and restore some order. All kinds of chaos. AJ Styles is fired up. AJ Styles calling his shot. Styles, phenomenal forearm. But the headbutt by El Grande Americano. And Americano is headed to Money in the Bank. Chad Gable will be at Worlds Collide, and then El Grande Americano will be at Money in the Bank. American Made has a busy weekend. And it will now be Andrade, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Sol Sikoa, Penta, and El Grande Americano. Now it's Punk going after Breaker. Punk is pissed. Breaker just cost him a shot being in the Money in the Bank ladder match. But here comes Rollins from behind. Rollins is not done at all. Here comes Rollins now. Rollins and Punk slugging it out in the ring. Thinking of GTS. Oh, and a spear by Breaker. But Zayn from behind attacking Breaker, but it's now Reed who gets involved. There's all kinds of... And a stomp for Zayn. And Seth freaking Rollins with a stomp for Punk. Jay with a kick to Reed. A kick to Breaker. But Rollins catches Jay. And Breaker with a spear to Jay. And Rollins with a stomp to Jay. Rollins wants to control WWE. And he's on his way. If all he's got to do next is win the Money in the Bank briefcase for the second time in his career. No. Not this. Oh, Sue! Nami! Oh, God. Jay's got a huge tag team match on Saturday and then a big world title match next Monday. I doubt Jay's heading in as 100% into that world title match next Monday, let alone the tag match this Saturday. Once again, this dangerous alliance stands tall. Can anybody stop this? This madness of Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. All right. That was Monday Night Raw. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Appreciate each and every single one of you for tuning in as always. And have a good night.